Welcome back. Season 5, Episode 9, The Useless Hand, the penultimate episode of Fargo's most recent season, is building towards an explosive finish next week with action-packed storylines bringing all the characters together for a climactic standoff. Thomas Bezicha directed The Useless Hand, based on a script written by Noah Hawley, the show's creator. After splitting screenwriting credit with co-writers on the previous 3 episodes, Hawley is the only credit holder for this one. It seems fitting that Bezicha is also directing the season finale next week, as this episode feels like the first half of the grand finale and sets the stage for an exciting denouement. State Trooper Whitfar is still resolved to repay Dot for saving his life. Sheriff Roy Tillman is still preparing his highly armed militia for a confrontation with the federal government, and Dot is still stranded at his ranch. The Useless Hand picks up narrative lines from a few episodes ago, such as Lorraine's job offer to Olmsted, and builds on the cliffhangers left hanging from last week's episode, such as Munch hiding in the back of Gator's police car, ready to attack. There were many significant revelations this week, and there is now only one Fargo Season 5 episode remaining. Gator is captured by Munch. Munch was spotted lurking in the back of Gator's patrol cruiser last week, ready to attack. The story this week begins with Munch's aftermath from the pounds, with Gator strapped to a chair in a small cottage in the middle of nowhere. Munch is holding a knife in the fireplace flames while Gator tries to haggle with him. He turns the blazing sword on a startled Gator when it glows orange. Afterwards, Munch is seen pulling Gator through the snow with a rope around his neck. Though he doesn't intend to murder Gator, he still wants to cause him pain. Dot gets out of the barn. Dot has been kidnapped by a number of people during Fargo Season 5, including hospital orderlies, and she has never been held captive for very long. This week's episode finds Dot breaking out shortly after she was left chained to a barn in last week's episode. In the barn where she is being held, she uses her kicks to get past a floorboard and then discovers a nail that she can use to pick the lock on her shackles. Dot is caught by Karen, Roy's new wife, and she is held at gunpoint. However, Dot is able to divert Karen's attention long enough for her to drop the weapon. Lorraine makes a cavalry call. In this week's episode, Lorraine goes over and beyond by sending a whole military convoy to Roy's property when Graves' effort at blackmail fails to liberate Dot. Roy's own convoy, which was made up of his militia, was closely followed by this one, which was commanded by FBI agents Meyer and Joaquin, who were determined to bring Roy to justice. The existence of this militia clarifies the fate of all the guns that went missing, which worried Meyer and Joaquin because they thought Roy had taken them to arm his own private force. Roy discovers in Gator's bedroom Munch's money bag. Roy is unsure about Gator's whereabouts at the start of the episode. Gator is missing, and none of his goons have heard from him. In the process of looking for an escaped Dot, Roy finds Munch's money bag in Gator's bedroom closet. Roy becomes worried about what his missing kid might have gotten himself into when he learns that Gator must have pursued Munch and stolen the money back, but not because he genuinely worries about Gator's safety, he merely doesn't want the inconvenience. Lorraine gives Dot a call her offspring. Lorraine was certain that her son's wife was a wolf in sheep's clothing who was planning to steal the family business when Fargo Season 5 premiered. But as she's become more aware of Dot's past, she's grown to genuinely care about and respect her. When Dot calls Lorraine's office from Roy's compound in Episode 9, Lorraine truly welcomes her as her own daughter. "No daughter of mine is going down on the 1-yard line," she declares. The victorious Lorraine orders Dot to fight her way out of Roy's property, but Olmsted, who is more composed, intervenes and begs her not to get involved in any confrontations. Roy's goons are beginning to doubt his authority. Roy has been able to rely on his devoted fans throughout Fargo Season 5, as they have consistently been prepared to risk their lives for him. But now that Dot has outwitted Roy so frequently, his cult-like followers are starting to doubt Roy's leadership. The militia commander and father-in-law of Roy claims that although Roy was once a conqueror, he now comes across as vulnerable and fearful, as though he is nearing the end of his possibilities. Roy doesn't seem to mind being compared to Hitler when his father-in-law asks if Roy is Hitler heading the Third Reich or Hitler cowering in a bunker. Ever since the first episode, when Dot saved his life at the gas station, State Trooper Whitfar has been eager to repay the favor. Olmsted contacts Whit after Dot calls to let her know where she is. Olmsted needs Whit to help Dot because she no longer has any authority after she left the police department to pursue a security position in the private sector. As the military prepares to attack Roy's property, Whit intercepts them and persuades them to let him take charge of the search and rescue operation to locate Dot. Dot is saved by Munch. Whit does his hardest to save Dot, but he fails. Munch, her former adversary, who initially brought her into this whole situation by attempting to kidnap her for a ransom, ends up saving her. Dot is discovered by Munch hiding in the hole where Roy discards his murdered victims. Before assisting her in getting out of the corpse pit and giving her a rifle, he tells her that battling a caged tiger is not a fight at all. Currently, Dot and Munch are on an even playing field to take revenge on Roy in the Fargo Season 5 finale. For more, subscribe.